Good morning, friends. My name is Rachel Garaldi, and I will be leading worship this morning, this special Sunday of our Story Sunday. This morning, we're going to be exploring different ways of God's love, different ways that we can engage in God's love, and different ways that God teaches us to love. Before we get started with our opening song, are there announcements or other news to share?
This is an announcement and news, kind of. The annual meeting. Is it on? Okay. The annual meeting will be next Sunday, right after church. If you would like a report, there are hard copies back there. We'll also be sending out a PDF, I think, this week. Attach a PDF if people don't want to take a lot of paper home. But if you want to take a lot of paper home, there's a report right back there on the table. And it will be right after church.
And this is, it's on, but it's not very on. I think we have we'll fix the audio problems. And next week, Cesar Alvarez will be leading worship. It's going to be music and a central message that he wrote. And he's really excited, and we're really excited. Tell all your friends. It's going to be great for all ages. We'll also have time. We're lining up a couple of young people and an adult to be back with the kids. And dun da da! We've cleared out, thank you to John Echeverria and to Jim Schley, they cleared out the back area, so it's no longer hampered by icky old toys and old broken stuff. It's nice grass, and it's going to be nice, so if there's nice weather, the kids can also be in that space. So we're excited about next week, and we hope you just come on back and tell all your friends.
Sounds good.
Although I think you're fine, Rachel. I think it's just other people.
I have a book that I've put together. It's a book of pollywogs, dragonflies, and other friends. It's full of nature, and it's for young children. And I am going to offer it for sale this morning on the back table. And the proceeds are going to go to the mission committee. And the mission committee does a lot for people around the world as well as locally. People suffering from the disasters of flood and fire and other things like that. And locally for food and other expenses that they can help people out on. So this book will be, the cost of the book will go to the mission committee. It's $20 a book.
It is a beautiful book. You have to at least look at it. It's so beautiful.
Mel, from the mission committee's heart to yours, thank you so much. That is generous and lovely. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Just a reminder that this afternoon at 4 o'clock, Herbert Gertz will be reading from his book, and this will be hosted by the library, but it will be here.
Thank you. Any other announcements? Okay. We'll open with our opening song. It's not in the program. I've been singing the same song to begin and end our Story Sundays together for a while. So feel free to join in as you know the words, or listen and be present to the joy of it. It's called A Gathering of Spirits. Let Let it go, my love, my truest love. Let it sail on silver wings. Life's a twinkling, that's for certain, and such a fine thing. We're a gathering of spirits, we're a festival of friends, and we'll pick up where we left off when we all meet again. I can't explain it, couldn't if I tried, how the only things we carry are things we hold inside, like a day out in the open, like a love we won't forget, like the laughter that we've started and hasn't died down yet. Let it go, my love, my truest love. Let it sail on silver wings. Life's a twinkling, that's for certain, and such a fine thing. We're a gathering of spirits, we're a festival of friends, and we'll pick up where we left off when we all meet again. I can't explain it, couldn't if I tried. It's the same verse as before. I'm blanking. Some glow like the embers, some like colored glass, and some give it all in one great flame, throwing kisses as they pass. Let it go, my love, my truest love. Let it sail on silver wings. Life's a twinkling, that's for certain, and it's such a fine thing. We're a gathering of spirits, we're a festival of friends, and we'll pick up where we left off when we all meet again. Yes, we'll pick up where we left off when we all meet again. Thank you, everyone. So as our tradition, we start each of our services by lighting the peace candle. We've been telling this story, getting it into our bones and into our bodies. I'm not quite ready yet. I'm going to tell the story first, okay? And this is a story about why we light the peace candle every Sunday. A long, long time ago in a village far away, there was a community of people that weren't kind to each other. They didn't share their abundance. They didn't help each other out. There was a lot of war and strife. People weren't honest with each other. They didn't really work in community. One Sunday, they came together for church, like they always did, to say the same prayers and to think the same things. And a woman came up with a tiny, tiny little stub of a candle. She brought it up to the altar, and she said to the pastor, "Last night, I had a dream. I had a dream that if we all lit this peace candle and we prayed for peace, and that peace, that prayer of peace went into our bodies, went into our hearts, we would be changed just a little bit, and to bring that peace back into our community." And so everybody in the church, they lit that candle and they prayed for peace. They prayed that God's love in their heart would change their hearts just a little bit, so they would be kinder, they would be nicer, they would share, they'd be a little more honest. And so that week, such happened. People who had a little extra food shared with their neighbors. People who needed help over here got help from over there. And the whole community was just a little bit kinder to each other. So the next Sunday, another person in the community brought a tiny little candle, and once again, they lit the candle and they prayed for peace. Over time, this community became so much kinder to each other. They worked together and they built things together. They helped each other out, and they lived in much greater harmony. Well, the village next to theirs figured out what was happening, and they thought, we could use this too. And so they lit a candle every week and prayed for peace. They prayed that that peace would come into their hearts and change them just a little bit, so that they would be a happier, kinder community. Well, the village next to theirs figured out what was happening, and the village next to theirs figured out what was happening, and soon it spread all around. And today, when we light that peace candle and we pray for peace, we pray that just a little bit of change will happen in our hearts to make our community just a little kinder, a little better. We join millions and millions of people all across the world that all day long will be lighting candles of peace for the same reason. So please join me in that lighting of a candle. Gideon, do you want to come up? You're welcome to read along with me in your program. There's a line that says people, and you're welcome to join me there. In Christ was life, and life was the light of the world. The light shines in darkness, and the darkness does not overcome it. Let us pray for peace and the things that make for peace as we light the peace candle. Galilee, do you want to come home? You guys got it? There we go. Hold it. Okay, that works too. Thank you guys. Can you guys go back, sit down? And we're going to sing a peace song. So you're welcome to stand if you're able. The words are in the program in the back. It's a very simple one, so we'll sing it through a couple times. You might recognize the tune. It goes. Peace, 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 peace. Wars have been and wars must cease. We must learn to live together. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, 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 peace. Wars have been and wars must cease. We must learn to live together. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, 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 peace. Wars have been and wars must cease. We must learn to live together. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. Thank you, everyone. Okay, if you are young or young at heart, you're welcome to come up, and I'm going to tell a story with the felt board. Can you stay down here, though, okay? So everyone can see. You're going to be down here, just so we want to stay off of the riser so everyone can see, okay? But you're welcome to sit on the floor. Do we need to move maybe down so that the camera can get? Thank you. Okay, so I need you to stay off the riser, okay? Gwen, I know you want to come up with Mama, okay? But can you, if you can stay there, okay. This is a story about love, about the many ways that we are called to love each other and our community and our world. There is a special place in each of us. Some people have it in their heart. Some people have a center that they feel strongly about. And it is that place, that special place where God lives in us. We are at home in God, and God is at home in us. This is our place where we feel God's love. This is the place of love's way. We are called to love in many, many different ways. We are called to be kind and gentle to each other. kind and gentle. This is love's way. We are called to be fair and welcoming to all. Fair and welcoming. This is God's way. This is love's way. We are called to be true and honest. This is love's way. We are called to know what is most important. When things in the world get busy and complicated, we simplify it and know in our hearts what is most important. This is love's way. We are called to work together in community. Come on, little person. Making sure that everyone can join in together. This is love's way. We are called to take care of our world, the earth. This is also love's way. These are some of the ways that we are called to be in the world. These are some of love's ways in our heart. God's love in us helps us live that love's way. This child told her friend that she didn't want her friend to play a particular game. She said, "I don't want to play with you." Later, she saw her friend crying, and she felt bad. She went up to her friend and said that she was sorry and invited her friend to come play. She learned how to be kind and gentle. She learned one of love's ways. Even when we do things wrong, even when we do bad things on purpose, God still loves us. Love still surrounds us. And we are called back into love's way. This child has some friends who are dark-skinned, some who are light-skinned, some that are really big, some that are really small. He's got friends who run really fast, and he has friends who are really good at swimming. He has friends that live far away, and he has friends that live in his own house. He tries really, really hard to be fair and welcoming to all. This is one of love's ways. This child lied to their mother. They didn't want their mother to know what they did, and so they told a lie. Later, they felt really, really bad about it, and they went to their mother and they told her what had happened. Well, they got in trouble a little bit from lying. They also were celebrated for telling the truth. This child learned how to be honest and true. And even though they did something wrong, maybe they even did something bad on purpose, they were still surrounded by love. Honesty and truth. It's one of love's ways. This child is super, super busy. All day long, wakes up in the morning, has a million things to do, has to get to school, has to go to sports, has to have lessons, music lessons, is totally busy all the time, has tons of toys everywhere, and there's just so much going on, all the time. At night, when she goes to bed, she stops for a moment, and all that busyness goes out. Because in her heart, she knows what is most important is her love of her family and her friends and her community. Simplicity of love. This is one of love's ways. This child loves to work with other people. In fact, he gathers everybody he finds to do work projects, to build houses, to do all sorts of cool things together. He loves to bake cookies for bake sales. He wants to make sure that everybody who wants to be part of a group, who wants to be part of community, can find a place. This child, in this child's heart, community and working in community is one of love's ways. This child loves to be outside. When they are outside, they feel peaceful and hopeful. They love to climb trees, and they love to catch bugs in their hands. They love to find frogs in the pond, and they love to stare up into the stars. For this child, caring for the planet and for the earth is super important. For this child, earth care is one of love's ways. These are some of the ways we are called to love: peace, equality, integrity or honesty, simplicity, community, earth care, stewardship. These are some of the ways we are called to love, and even if we do bad things on purpose, even if we make mistakes, even if we have bad days, God still loves us. We are still truly and deeply loved, and that love calls us back into love's ways. I wonder, and this is your chance to share, anyone is welcome to wonder with me. I wonder, which part of this little lesson, this little story, what part of this did you find most important to you? Gideon.
I really like all about the kid who liked the nature.
The nature? You love to climb trees. I can see how that's very important to you. Galilee.
I love the cleanup.
The what?
I love the cleanup.
The-
Love to clean up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. And you're helping your family when you do that. No wonder. I wonder if there's a way that you've experienced love. Maybe in one of these categories, maybe somewhere else. I wonder how you've experienced love's way. Anyone like to share? I wonder. Yes, Joey.
Not to bring everything back to the rummage sale. But I love that a bunch of young people, including Rachel and a bunch of others, are stepping up to make the rummage sale happen.
It's that community, community mentorship. Oh, and a hug. That's one of love's ways. Thank you, sweetheart. Go back. Io. One thing I loved about this lesson is they talked about that child feeling both peaceful and hopeful when they're outside. I think there's something about nature that is really hopeful. And when everything else seems hard, the beauty of being outside is just really wonderful.
I have a pond, and when me and my dad jumped into it, I don't have any emotions. I'm swimming, and I feel like someone's hugging me. It's like a hug.
That's so beautiful.
And I feel so free.
Thank you. Freedom. I wonder what you wonder. Are there things that you wonder? Yes.
I love forgiveness.
It was really striking to hear stories, as I was preparing, to hear stories of children that didn't necessarily do the right thing right away, that learned that, they can come back after they lie, or maybe they tell their friends they can't play, or maybe they do something that they know they're not supposed to do, and yet they can experience that forgiveness and come back, and that's so beautiful. Any other wonderings?
I wonder what life is like for people who don't learn one of these things or all of these things as a child, and what does that feel like as an adult to not know these things, of connecting with other people, yourself, and nature? I wonder what that's like.
I wonder. Yes.
I feel like when our family members get really mad, and then the next day they're not so mad anymore. Just some time went by, and love comes back.
That time. And that relationships continue and develop. Yes. Well, why don't we, one more, yes.
I love the idea of just throughout all the noise, or in any given moment, what's important. Keeping your eye on what's important.
Well, let us come together and we're going to sing a song and then read some stories. So the next song we're going to sing is Simple Gifts. And many of you probably know this song. Galilee, could you get off here, please? Okay. I'm just going to grab my music. The words are on the back. Sorry, guys. Oops, sorry, Galilee. We're going to sing it through twice. You're welcome to stand if you'd like. You're welcome to dance. One thing I loved as a kid about this song is there are two lines at the end of the second verse that say, turn, turn. You know what I loved to do as a kid? I loved to turn and spin during those. You think you could help me out and do that? So you're welcome to get up if you want. You're welcome to dance a little bit, move your body. 'Tis a gift to be simple, 'tis a gift to be free, 'tis a gift to come down where we ought to be. And when we find ourselves in a place just right, 'twill be in the valley of love and delight. When true simplicity is gained, to bow and to bend, we shan't be ashamed. To turn, turn will be our delight, till by turning, turning we come round right. Let's do it one more time. 'Tis a gift to be simple, 'tis a gift to be free, 'tis a gift to come down where we ought to be. And when we find ourselves in a place just right, 'twill be in the valley of love and delight. When true simplicity is gained, to bow and to bend, we shan't be ashamed. To turn, turn will be our delight, till by turning, turning we come round right. Thank you, friends. Okay, so we're going to listen to two stories. The first one is called The Kissing Hand. And after that one, we are going to do something fun called Passing the Peace. So I'm going to invite Joey up to read to us The Kissing Hand. And some of you might remember this story from school, because this song...
So I was really struck by what Rachel was saying when you were doing this story, and how you used the words God and love almost interchangeably. That's an interesting thing to notice. You might even think about that when you're listening to this story. You also should think about what happens. There's a funny little ending in this story that you might not be expecting, so just listen for it. It's called The Kissing Hand. Here's the first picture. It's about a raccoon, sort of. Here's the raccoon. Chester Raccoon stood at the edge of the forest and cried. "I don't want to go to school," he told his mother. "I want to stay home with you. I want to play with my friends and play with my toys and read my books and swing on my swing. Please, may I stay home with you?" Mrs. Raccoon took Chester by the hand and nuzzled him in the ear. "Sometimes we all have to do things we don't want to do," she told him gently, "even if they seem strange and scary at first. But you will love school once you start. You'll make new friends, you'll play with new toys, read new books, swing on new swings. Besides," she added, "I know a wonderful secret that will make your nights at school seem as warm and cozy as your days at home." He's thinking about that. Chester wiped away his tears and looked interested. "A secret? What kind of secret?" "A very old secret," said Mrs. Raccoon. "I learned it from my mother, and she learned it from hers. It's called the kissing hand." "Kissing hand?" asked Chester. "What's that?" "I'll show you." And just look at the picture here without having to listen to any words. Mrs. Raccoon took Chester's left hand and spread open his tiny fingers into a fan. Leaning forward, she kissed Chester right in the middle of his palm. Chester felt his mother's kiss. Sounds like you jumping into the water, Io. Chester felt his mother's kiss rush from his hand, up his arm, and right into his heart. Even his silky black mask tingled with a special warmth. Mrs. Raccoon smiled. "Now," she told Chester, "whenever you feel lonely and need a little loving from home, you press your hand to your cheek and think, 'Mommy loves you, Mommy loves you,' and that very kiss will jump to your face and fill you with toasty, warm thoughts." And here's that tree, kind of reminds me of the tree in the back of our parasol, right? She took Chester's hand and carefully wrapped his fingers around the kiss. "Now be careful not to lose it," she teased him. "But don't worry, when you open your hand and wash your food, I promise the kiss will stick." And here he is, doing that. Chester loved his kissing hand. Now he knew his mother's love would go with him wherever he went, even to school. That night, Chester stood in front of his school and looked thoughtful. Listen really closely here, see what happens. Suddenly, he turned to his mother and grinned. "Give me your hand," he told her. There she is. giving him her hand. Chester took his mother's hand in his own and unfolded her large, familiar fingers into a fan. Next, he leaned forward and kissed the center of her hand. Now you have a kissing hand too, he told her. And with a gentle goodbye and I love you, Chester turned and danced away. Mrs. Raccoon watched Chester scamper across a tree limb and enter school. And as the hoot owl rang in the new school year, she pressed her left hand to her cheek and she smiled. The warmth of Chester's kiss filled her heart with special words. Chester loves you, it sang. Chester loves you. And that's the end.
So in many churches around the world, thank you, Joey, we have a practice of passing the peace. In many ways, this is our own little type of kissing hand, our little way of showing each other love, of greeting, of the peace that's in me passing to the peace in you. In some ways, we just grab somebody's hands and we say, peace. Some people say, peace be with you. Other people give each other hugs or a kiss on the cheek. We're going to take a few moments, and even if you don't know somebody here in this room, feel free to go up to them and hold their hand and say, peace, and pass the peace through this community. So you're welcome to get up and greet each other. Welcome to come back. Galilee, can you come over here, please? Come over. Dana. And I can hold it for you. So the next book that we're going to read is called A Church for All. And this book is a book that is fairly recently written, and Gail Pittman is a pastor who wrote this beautiful book and is now being read all across the world. And I wanted to share it with you. And if you listen really carefully, they have a passing of the peace in the story as well.
one thing I noticed when I read this is there are things in this church, in this building, that you'll see in here. And I might stop and say, look around, and if you see it, point to it. So there might be similarities between this church for all and our church for all. Sunday, waking. Day is breaking. Let's go to our church for all. Church bells ringing. Did anyone hear church bells ringing here this morning? Who rang the church bells? Cameron and Gideon rang the church bells. And I was afraid, I said to Jim, I was afraid Cameron was going to go up in the air. It was a good thing, Gideon, you were there, because I was worried about Cameron. Church bells ringing, joyful noises. Anybody hear any joyful noises in this church this morning? What did you hear? That was singing as we were walking. Singing, bells, laughter. I heard Ben laugh really, really just like that this morning. It made me laugh. It was so warm and wonderful. Cesar's wonderful singing voice was joyful to me. Beautiful. Choir singing, not this morning. We're all the choir this morning. And laughing voices. Raise your hand if you heard laughter this morning. Good. So good. Candles glowing, banners flowing. Does anybody see candles glowing? Maybe. Can anybody point to a banner flowing? See any banners? Yeah, there's one. You might not have ever noticed them before. There's one there. There's one over there. Banners flowing. Come enter our church for all. Weak and healthy, neat and messy. Sounds like all of us. Poor and wealthy, plain and dressy. All embracing, spirit gracing, each one at our church for all. Bodies wiggling, mommies reading, children giggling. Could I hear some children giggling, please? Children giggling. Daddy's pleading. Can I hear some daddies pleading, please? Oh, please. Sit still. I was one of those mommies pleading ones, right over there. Little boy under the pew, holding him down. He's far away now. Toddlers flailing, babies wailing. There's room in our church. Right on cue. There's room in our church for all. Hands receiving, hands connecting. Can I see some hands that just did that? Hands that just did that. Lots of hands that just did that. There were some hugs, some cheeks being kissed. Hearts believing, hearts accepting. Feel the Spirit. Can you hear it? Can you hear it? Sounds like songs, it sounds like laughter, it sounds like stories. It's here at our church for all. Let's all say that together. It's here at our church for all. Any exceptions? Anybody not allowed? All together? No. No exceptions. Everyone welcome.
Thank you, Danette. Yeah, you can sit up here with me. Let's do a little more wondering. Let's think about the kissing hand story, the book A Church for All. I wonder in those two books, what sparkled for you? What do you remember that just stood out for you or touched your heart or felt like it just sparkled a little bit? I wonder. Yes, Jim. Raccoons go to school at night. Yeah, they're very accurate there. What stood out for you? I wonder. Any wondering thoughts? Okay, so let's just take a moment more of prayer. Dear God, we hold all of these prayers, spoken and unspoken, in our hearts, in our bodies, in our spirits, and we lift them up, knowing that they will be received, they will be heard, they will be seen. Please, God, change the hearts that need to be changed, change our bodies that need to be moved and climbed on, so that these prayers may be answered in all of their beautiful complexity and their beautiful simplicity. We put our faith that it will be done. Amen. Okay, we're going to sing a song or two. So in your program is the Magic Penny song, another favorite of mine. Okay. And you're welcome to stand up and to dance if you'd like. You can go find some space. You can roll all over the floor when it says roll all over the floor. Love is something if you give it away, give it away, give it away. Love is something if you give it away, you end up having more. It's just like a magic penny, hold it tight and you won't have any. Lend it, spend it, and you'll have so many, they'll roll all over the floor. Love is something if you give it away, give it away, give it away. Love is something if you give it away, you end up having more. Money's dandy and we'll use it, but love is better if you're open to it. It's a treasure and you'll never lose it, so spread it all around the world. Love is something if you give it away, give it away, give it away. Love is something if you give it away, you end up having more. Let's see the chorus one more time. Love is something if you give it away, give it away, give it away. Love is something if you give it away, you end up having more. So friends, I hope that from here you can find one of God's love's ways to bring out into the world. Make a joyful noise, give somebody a hug, be honest, kind, true, be in community, know what is most important. So let us end as we started so that we can pick up where we left off. Let it go, my love, my truest love. Let it sail on silver wings. Life's a twinkling, that's for certain, and it's such a fine thing. We're a gathering of spirits, we're a festival of friends, and we'll pick up where we left off. We all meet again. I can't explain it, couldn't if I tried, how the only things we carry are the things we hold inside. Like a day out in the open, like a love we won't forget, like the laughter that we've started and hasn't died down yet. Let it go, my love, my truest love. Let it sail on silver wings. Life's a twinkling, that's for certain, and it's such a fine thing. We're a gathering of spirits, we're a festival some glow like the embers, some through colored glass, and some give it all in one ring of flame, throwing kisses as they pass. Let it go, my love, my truest love, let it sail on